school-wide learning expectation is a faithful Catholic. I show I can practice Christian values by making good moral judgments by my experience in the Pride program. The Pride program is a drug education program hosted by the Border Patrol. We were given this program in the 8th grade. It revolves around the 5 core values of pride, respect, integrity, dependency-free, and education. Throughout these presentations, we learned about the effects of drugs and alcohol on our bodies and mind. I lost 2 grandparents to smoking, so I know I must make the right choices as I enter high school and beyond. Next, I show I can use my talents by giving service to my school, parish, and community through my math tutoring. In 7th and 8th grade, our math teacher set up a peer tutoring system. After school, math students who had an average of an A could help other students complete their homework. I've always loved math and wanted to work with it when I grew up. At math tutoring, I guided others through their homework and made sure they understood the basic concepts of our Algebra 1 course. Next, I show I can locate and understand scripture passages by reading the Lenten booklet. This Lent, we were given a magnificent Lenten companion, a small booklet containing reflections on the daily gospel. At the beginning of each religion class, we were assigned to read a gospel from our Bibles. Next, we discussed the reading as a class and read the small reflection inside of the booklets. Finally, we wrote our own reflection in our religion journals. One of these gospel readings was from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 16, verses 19 through 31, about Lazarus and the rich man. I wrote how sometimes I feel like the rich man because I do not fully appreciate what I am given. The next SLE is a lifelong learner. I show I see the value of the fine arts by dancing the Sevillanas. In 3rd grade, I lived in Spain in the city of Seville for 1 year. While there, I learned the Sevillanas, a traditional form of flamenco often danced in the south of Spain. For several months I trained until I participated in the talent show wearing this suit. Next, I show I can use technology to enhance my research skills through my 7th grade science project. In 7th grade, I presented a science project to the Greater San Diego Science and Engineering Fair. This project asked, what are the effects of time on the resistance of salt water? I first used the internet to research electricity and how it behaved in water. Then, I used this multimeter to measure the electrical properties of salt water over time. After compiling this binder and presenting it at the GSDSEF, I achieved 1st place in the physics division. Next, I show I can put forth effort to achieve academic potential to master basic learning skills by practicing for the high school placement test. To enter a Catholic high school such as Mater Dei, an HSBT is required. Before the HSBT, I prepared by taking several practice tests, attended a short class, and buying and reading this practice book, which outlines tips and tricks to do your best on test day. Thanks to my preparation, I scored higher than 99% of other test takers, allowing me to receive the Presidential Scholarship, covering all 4 years of my time at Mater Dei. I can use these skills in the future for other tests, such as the SAT and AP exams. The next SLE is an effective communicator. I show I can express clear written and oral ideas respectfully by writing in my Character Matters essay. For several years at my time at St. Therese, I have written these essays, which are presented to the Character Development Center at University of San Diego. In 7th grade, I wrote about poverty and how we can use the positive character traits of courage, compassion, and citizenship to eliminate it. I then summarized my essay and presented it in front of my class, along with several pictures to help me in my presentation. My essay won 3rd place in the middle school division on the whole of San Diego County. Next, I show I can articulate my beliefs respectfully and with conviction by debating. In 6th grade, I set up a debate club. I met with my classmates at lunch, during which we discussed several issues in the Junior Scholastic magazine. One of these issues was whether minors should be allowed to use tanning beds. Next, I also participated in debates in the 8th grade. This year, I helped moderate a debate on whether it was good or bad to be a knight. Next, I show I demonstrate manners and courtesy appropriately by serving at the pasta dinner. Each year, we hold a pasta dinner during the open house to raise funds for 8th grade graduation. All of the 8th grade serves as waiters, and we dress up in black slacks, or white shirts, and this red cravats. I made sure to call everybody sir and ma'am, and quickly brought them the food and drinks they requested. In all, we collected $300 in tips, which we then donated to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. The final SLE is a responsible individual. I show I understand varying points of view and cultural differences by traveling around the world. I've traveled to many different places during the summer. At each new place, I try new food, see how people dress, hear their language and popular music, and go to popular places such as monuments. Some places I've gone to include China, Spain, France, Morocco, Serbia, and Romania. I've brought several souvenirs from each of these places. Next, I show accept challenges and pursue goals by completing the Camino de Santiago. The Camino de Santiago is a pilgrimage leading up to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela in the northwest of Spain. I packed my backpack with clothing and necessary supplies for the journey and then began at SLE, 60 miles away from Santiago de Compostela. The first day I became sick, but I persevered and continued walking. I made sure to reach my goal of 12 miles a day in order to complete the pilgrimage in 5 days. When I finally reached Santiago de Compostela, I attended a mass and received this certificate, which shows I have walked the 60 miles necessary for the Camino de Santiago. Finally, I show I can participate appropriately when working independently and collaboratively by attending a robotics class at San Diego State University. In the summer of my 6th grade year, I took a robotics class for high school students at SDSU along with my friend. We were assigned homework, which I completed by myself at home. Then, I programmed instructions for the robots along with my friend. We checked each other's code and made sure it had no flaws. Then we entered the robot in a small competition. I can use these programming skills in future jobs as, for example, a software engineer or IT technician. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation. Are there any questions?
Did you have a favorite piece of evidence in all that you collected? I know you had to do 54 of them. Did you have a favorite?
Well, I think one of my favorite ones is my HSBT practice book and my acceptance letter to Modern Day, because now I know I'll be able to have a good education at a Catholic high school.
Do you still dance?
No. Yes.
Why do you go to Spain so much? I don't really know.
your heritage?
Well, most of my ancestors are Spanish, and since my father is a professor at SDSU, he gets to travel around the world and to work with other professors on math subjects.
Is that where you get your love of math from?
Yes. Both my parents studied math in universities.
Adrian is sometimes a little modest about his math abilities. Adrian, can you tell the panel how you utilized your math time this year? Because you were so far ahead.
During this year, during math class, I went to the computers at the side of the room and worked on Khan Academy and other websites to learn how to program and more advanced math skills.
What do you see yourself doing in the future as far as a career path?
Well, I would like to be a software engineer, or maybe do physics simulations and work with computers in general. I really like computers and science.
Are you going to keep volunteering for different science projects in high school?
Yes, I want to continue entering into the GSDF, and I hope to make it to the state level next time I enter.
Unfortunately, this year we were on our 8th grade trip at the time the science fair came about, so if any 8th graders' projects qualified this year, they couldn't present to the science fair, which allowed them not to be able to enter, so it was kind of disappointing because he probably would have done just as well this year.
Adrian, I've heard that you also have another fine arts interest. Can you tell us about that more?
I also like to play the piano very much. I've been playing since around 2nd grade, and this year in the talent show, I played How to Save a Life by the Fray.
Okay, I got a really tough question for you. You are extremely bright, you're a very good test taker, but you are not at the top of your class. Why is that?
Sometimes I get distracted by other things such as video games, and I don't put my full effort into school, which I should. But I know when I enter high school, I want to take as many AP classes and honor classes as I can to be able to have a very good resume to enter the college of my choice.
So you learn from this whole experience that you have the potential, you know you have it, and it would be a shame to waste that potential. That would be huge, so I'm glad you recognize that.
Do you have a college in mind?
Not yet. No. I was more worried about choosing which high school to go to.
That's true.
Excellent. Anybody else?
What was your favorite country that you have visited?
I think my 3 favorite countries would be Spain, and Morocco, and China. Spain, each one is special and has its own special things about it, and each one is different.
Great.
You did a nice job on your presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.